the Dallas Cowboys were blown out of AT&T Stadium on Sunday by the New Orleans Saints in a 44-19 loss, which few saw coming. With the Cowboys coming off a superb Week 1 win over the Cleveland Browns, there was a good feeling within the stadium ahead of kickoff, but that quickly dissipated. In a game when Mike Zimmer's defense was run off its feet by Alvin Kamara in a devastating manner, and the offense struggled to keep pace with Derek Carr and the Saints' offense, it was a dirty day for Dallas. In assessing the game 24 hours later, head coach Mike McCarthy offered his thoughts on what was a horror showing. "It's never as good as you think it is, and it's never as bad as you think it is," McCarthy said. "It was not good. I stood here 7 days ago, on a Monday, and said we got a lot of work to do, having won by 3 scores, and that wasn't lip service. We have work to do. With 2 games down, we still don't know who the 2024 Cowboys are. Are they the ones who curb-stomped the Browns, or the ones who got the doors blown off them by the Saints? Perhaps it's somewhere in the middle. Either way, Dallas is going to get a stern test of its resolve in Week 3 when the Baltimore Ravens come to town." With the Saints' run game carving up Zimmer's defense, the Ravens are a different beast on the ground, so whatever tweaks and changes the defense needs to make, they better make them quick. Because if there's one team that can truly beat you into submission on the ground, it's the Ravens. Cowboys' 4-time Pro Bowler progressed toward possible Week 3 debut. The Cowboys have a lot to sift through following the Week 2 drubbing the team took at the hands of the Saints, and while the defense was, understandably, the big cause of concern, the fact is that the offense was not much better in the 44-19 blowout. Dallas attacking defense works best with a lead, what defense does not, and as we saw so often in 2023, when the offense does not give the team a leg up, everything tends to collapse. While there is no cavalry on the way to rescue the Cowboys, there is at least one glimmer of hope that might help solve one of the offense's biggest weaknesses, the run game. And that glimmer is veteran Dalvin Cook. Coach Mike McCarthy was asked about the possibility of a Cook return and when that might come. "Dalvin looks good," McCarthy said. "Understanding that a big thing for a vet is just the terminology, frankly, and just the language adjustment. I think he has progressed very, very nicely since he's been here. He's as natural of an outside zone runner that I've competed against. So, he looks good. Yeah, he's getting there." Dalvin Cook could debut versus former team. Cook was signed to the Cowboys practice squad on August 28 and has not been elevated to the 53-man roster yet. Before the game against the Saints, McCarthy suggested that Cook could make his debut this week against the Ravens, because if he did not play in Week 3, it is unlikely the team would squeeze him into the game plan for Week 4, when the Cowboys have a short week, with a Thursday night game. The Ravens happen to be the team that Cook signed with late last year for the playoffs, after he was released by the Jets. There's some question about how effective Cook could yet be, of course, at age 29 and coming off a rough 2023. He is just 1 year removed from a run of 4 seasons in which he topped 1,100 yards rushing with the Vikings, tallying 43 touchdowns in those 4 seasons. He left the Vikings for the Jets last year, but never carved out a role, 67 carries, 214 yards, in New York behind starter Breece Hall, and wound up out of the rotation altogether, eventually being released before joining the Ravens. Cowboys' RB committee has flopped so far. The Cowboys, of course, are attempting to use a running back committee, a controversial approach they took this season after letting Tony Pollard walk in free agency last year and failing to draft a replacement. Veteran Ezekiel Elliott, whom the Cowboys had let go the previous season, was their only running back addition. It's a small sample size, but so far, the Cowboys have gained just 170 yards on the ground, 25th in the NFL. Their average of 3.7 yards per attempt ranks 26th. At Pro Football Focus, Elliott has a grade of 56.6, which is 58th among 54 NFL running back. The number 2 option, Rico Dowdle, is at 64.5, which is 31st. The Cowboys are weighing their options with Cook, and doing so at all positions. "I think you're always looking," McCarthy said of the evaluations. "Yeah, we treat everybody in the building the same as far as consideration. So that's a constant, that's the beauty of having a competitive environment. I wouldn't just focus on that one area." Former Las Vegas Raiders outcast Derek Carr continued his dominant start to the new NFL season and made a clear statement after Dak Prescott secured a $260 million contract. Derek Carr pulled off an unexpected dance after scoring a touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys. Derek Carr pulled off an unexpected dance after scoring a touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys. Image at Saints X. By Joseph M.C. Bride, U.S. Sports Reporter. The New Orleans Saints stunned the Dallas Cowboys in Week 2 with a blowout 44-19 win, and quarterback Derek Carr danced in the end zone after scoring a rare touchdown. After the Saints scored 47 points against the Carolina Panthers in Week 1, most fans expected a more humbling experience when facing Dallas on the road. However, the Saints' offense was firing again, with the defense also intercepting Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott twice. Carr threw for 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, rushing from the 1-yard line to record his first score since the 2020 season. The 33-year-old began dancing in the end zone after scoring, rubbing salt in the wounds as the Dallas crowd was stunned. The Saints QB is flawless through the opening 2 weeks, as the offense has scored on all 15 drives led by the veteran. For Prescott and the Cowboys offense, it was a day to forget, and owner Jerry Jones looked furious in his suite as he watched the team take a beating. Tennessee Titans coach erupts at Will Levis after quarterback fails to learn lesson. Justin Jefferson breaks San Francisco 49ers ankles and NFL record with 97-yard touchdown. Both teams won their Week 1 matchup, with the Saints piling more misery on the Panthers while the Cowboys eased past the Cleveland Browns. The spotlight is on Prescott this season after he finally agreed to terms on a bumper contract extension, but he was outclassed by Carr on Sunday. Prescott signed a 4-year, $240 million contract, which includes a $80 million signing bonus and guarantees totaling $231 million. The 31-year-old was the NFL passing touchdown leader last season, but his 2-5 postseason record continues to hang over Prescott, especially as the Cowboys are desperate for Super Bowl success. The heavy loss was tough to take, and Prescott admitted the offense couldn't make it count in the red zone. "It's hard to say we were pressing," Prescott said. "But, obviously, you're trying to play complementary football and your defense is struggling to stop a group, so you want to do your part and then score touchdowns and come back. We weren't able to score touchdowns. I mean, we were able to move the ball up and down the field, but we couldn't score touchdowns. There are some things that we wanted to get better at. We got better at third down this week, but now it's the red zone. I think if we scored some touchdowns, it makes the defense feel a little bit better, and it's a whole different feel within the game for both sides of the ball." Saints QB Derek Carr completely disrespects Cowboys fans. The New Orleans Saints went into AT&T Stadium in Week 2 and outplayed the Dallas Cowboys on all 3 levels. New Orleans walked away with a dominant 44-19 over Dallas, and enjoyed every second of it. So much so that QB Derek Carr was caught celebrating a little too much. Saints QB Derek Carr completely disrespects Cowboys fans. In 2 weeks, the former Fresno State Bulldog has led the New Orleans Saints to 11 touchdowns and a 2-0 record. There was a noticeable difference in Carr's feeling on Sunday. For the first time since Week 16 of the 2020 season, when he was still playing for the Las Vegas Raiders, Derek Carr found the end zone as a runner. After scoring the touchdown, he celebrated with a dance that is known around the world.